Boom! We are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is, of course, your boy, Nolan Hawkeye Anthony here. And I thank you guys for being here, wherever you may be. And of course, however you may be listening. This is going to be a quick update video. Somebody commented on one of my videos. I do commonly say that it's going to be a quick video, and it doesn't always end up being that way. So I do apologize about that right off the bat. Of course, if I were to just edit down the videos, that would change. Nonetheless, let's jump right into this and get into the update, shall we? I just saw a few articles released regarding 5-star in-state offensive lineman Kadyn Proctor. Of course, he was the teammate of current Iowa Hawkeye and recent 5-star commit Xavier Wanpa. And if you guys remember, those of you guys who have been watching this channel since way back when have known that you guys know that I was 100% correct on Xavier Wanpa earlier than anybody was, quite frankly, with the exception of maybe one or two people. And I'm not saying that necessarily to brag as much as I'm saying that to say that I think you should trust my opinion and my assessment on Kadyn Proctor. When it comes to recruiting, it's not that difficult, quite frankly. You just got to follow the visits. Depending on which articles you read, there's all kinds of people who say what I just said. Just follow the visits and you will see where a guy is leaning on going to college. Now, the other thing that I want to say is, in general, if I were to rate myself out of 10 regarding how much I care about recruiting, I would give myself a 6. I think it matters, but I try not to get too hooked into it because ultimately these are still kids making decisions. They're still kids. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to almost always go off of their feelings and whatever. They're almost always going to go to the school that gives them the most validation, the most, high level, flashy shows type stuff. They're almost always going to choose that school, and the school that can prove to them that they can do the most for them, their brand, their family, the whole 9 yards. Okay. That's just where we're at in the recruiting world. And the other thing is, as a fan, and I've been in this situation myself, oftentimes these recruits push back on fans who say, he's going here, he's going there. And they try and put fans in their place for caring about where a recruit decides to go. And in fairness, of course the fans care because it directly impacts their favorite team. But the other reason that I would give myself a 6 and how much I care about the recruiting is because, again, I went through it myself, not at this type of level that these individuals, Kadyn Proctor and Xavier Wanpa, are going through, because, I played water polo, which is a totally different sport. But in other words, I know that at the end of the day, what matters the most is what the individual does when they get on campus. Yes, high school, it's fun. The recruiting is fun, and seeing what a guy is ranked, it's all fun. And yes, it matters to some extent, but the thing that matters the most is what they do when they get on campus. So I'm saying all this to say, take it all with a grain of salt. don't get too sucked into it. And I know I'm making a video about this, but I also do want to say all that before we dive into all of this other stuff as well. Okay, that's enough of that. This is what we are here for, is to discuss Kadyn Proctor. And initially, he had all 5 visits locked up, and Iowa was not on that list. And some Iowa fans were freaking out. But the reason Iowa was not on that list initially was because Kadyn Proctor felt good about Iowa, and he had been there more than any other school. And he felt he knew what Iowa offered, and therefore he would give these other schools a shot in order to see more schools and expose himself to more schools. And then fast forward to now, and let's just read it off the top. This is from Rivals. Here, let's read it. And then there were 2. 5-star offensive tackle Kadyn Proctor announced on Friday that he has narrowed his choices down to 2 finalists, Iowa and Alabama. Alabama. And the 6'8", 335-pound Proctor is canceling previously scheduled trips to Penn State, Oregon, and Michigan, and will now make an official visit to Iowa on June 24th instead. And of course, June 24th is the biggest weekend of Iowa's official visits. They pretty much have it all lined up through the month of June, but June 24th, that day, the weekend of June 24th, is the biggest recruiting weekend for Iowa. Now, I have said in the past that I am not the biggest fan of Iowa having the official visit, the big official visit weekend so late in the month. Other schools have it earlier in the month, June 10th, June 13th, June 3rd. And the schools that do it earlier in the month get the first crack. Now, on the flip side, Iowa, when they hold it on June 24th, they're basically stating that if a kid commits before and cannot wait until June 24th, then then it didn't matter anyways. It didn't matter how early they had the official visit weekend, because that kid was not going to go to Iowa. And I got to say, I disagree with that, because you never know what the deciding factor can be in a recruitment. You really, really don't. But again, Iowa has been doing phenomenally lately on the recruiting trail. If we look at Rivals here, I want to show you guys how Iowa has done on the recruiting trail the last 4 years real quick. So right now, the 2023 class, Iowa is 17th in the country, according to Rivals. Let's go all the way back to 2020. 2020, they finished 35th. 2021, they finished 23rd, I believe. Yep, there it is, 23rd. And 2022, last year, Iowa finished 30. So Iowa, we have seen a huge uptick in the consistency of Iowa. And to be honest, I think that most of that comes from the success of recruiting in the state of Iowa. There we go, 30th right there. So let's go back here to the article real quick. So based on the success that Iowa has had on the recruiting trail recently, I'm not sure how much I can complain about, them having their official visit weekend, June 24th, June 3rd. Ultimately it is what it is. And they have been doing pretty good regardless. Proctor, the 6'8", 335-pound Proctor. Okay, we already read that. They're canceling the visits to Penn State, Oregon, and Michigan. Proctor, who visited Alabama on June 10th, will then work on making a decision between the Crimson Tide and the home state Hawkeyes. And then Proctor said, as this recruiting process has been fun, but also difficult at the same time, I've decided to cancel my Penn State, Oregon, and Michigan officials, and will fill in an official visit with the University of Iowa on June 24th to 26th, Proctor said in a statement. Guys, this is huge. I think Iowa is by far the odds-on favorite to land Kadyn Proctor at this point. I think they've been a favorite ever since Xavier Wampa committed to the Iowa Hawkeyes. And, folks, I mean, I don't want to get too far into this until the commitment actually happens. But hypothetically, if he commits to the Iowa Hawkeyes, what that would mean is 3 5-star commitments to the University of Iowa in the past 7 years. Of course, AJ Epinesa was, one about 4 or 5 years ago. Then most recently it was Xavier Wampa. And now it is possibly going to be Kadyn Proctor. And then the other thing is, if Kadyn Proctor commits to the Hawkeyes, considering the fact that they already have the 17th ranked class currently, that would mean that Iowa is likely to finish with yet another top 30 class for a 4th straight year in a row, which is huge, folks. It really, really is. And I've been saying for a little while now that Iowa, Kirk Ferentz is doing as good of a job as he has done in years, recruiting and coaching the University of Iowa. And I would even say that this is the best. As you guys can see here, On3 has Iowa as a 71% favorite to land Kadyn Proctor, with Alabama as an 8% favorite. I would even say that Iowa, this is the best recruiting staff as a whole Iowa has had ever under Kirk Ferentz in his 20 plus years under the helm. I want to show you guys the recruits that are going to be on campus. This one is this weekend. Zachary Toby. He is a lone official visit individual. I think that the odds of Iowa landing him are pretty low, because the time that you have the best odds to land somebody is when when the vibes and the energy is super high, when you have 20, 30 people on campus and they can all feel the excitement and the energy around the program. And when it's only one person, you're on your own. It's hard to feel that same energy. We'll see what Iowa can do. It's better than nothing, but my hopes on Iowa landing this guy are pretty low. But I want to show you guys the other 30 guys that are expected to be on campus. Kendrick Gilbert, I think Iowa has a good shot to land. 4-star out of Indiana, Trevor Locke, I think Iowa has a phenomenal chance of landing. Jamison Patton, of course, committed to Iowa State because they had an official visit earlier than the Hawkeyes. Caden Jenkins, cornerback out of Texas, Messiah Blair, Khalil Tate, a lot of good talent, guys. Asa Newsome, a lot of talent, guys. I think Iowa will be pretty much done with their recruiting class after this official visit weekend. And I think they are in excellent shape for all of these guys who are coming on campus. I really, really do. They are in position to have one of their best classes in years. So lot to love, guys. Kadyn Proctor. I just wanted to update you guys on this, show you guys who's going to be on campus. You guys can check it out on 3 and 247 Sports. Kadyn Proctor down to 2, Iowa and Alabama. We'll see what happens there. I will keep you guys updated along the way, giving you guys content no matter what, and we will be looking into this together. Let me know what you guys think of this final 2 and what you guys think of Iowa recruiting lately and all of that. Let me know in the comment section. Of course, throw your boy a follow because, well, subscribing makes you feel good. Help your boy get to 1,000 subs. Like, comment, share. You know the drill. I will see all of you phenomenal Hawkeye fans next time. DBAP, don't be a pussy, Willow. and facts are feelings because your feelings just don't matter. Love you guys. Go Hawks. Bye-bye.